In January of 2023, a fella named Pedro arrived at BCR. His owner had passed away and the family packed up and left Pedro behind. He was living as an outside cat when neighbors saw him struggling and decided to take him in. Unfortunately, he tested positive for leukemia and the neighbors would not keep him since they had other cats. They still wanted to make sure he had somewhere safe to call home, and the shelter would have immediately euthanized him. This is how Pedro came home to BCR. I remember when he got here. He was actually the first cat that I got to see come into BCR and go through the full quarantine process and then being put in a room and stuff. Our quarantine was back here by rooms 5 and 6. And I remember peeking in at him a lot just because I thought he was so cute and I wanted to be his friend so bad. My favorite thing when he's super comfortable, he lays on his back and sprawls all his legs out and he has his full tummy out, full on starfish. It's just the best. Him and Boba getting closer and just being little friends. I think that's been really touching to see just because by Pedro. Pedro is pretty to himself. I feel like he kind of always has been like that. He gets along with the other cats and stuff, but a bit of a lone wolf, Pedro is. And then Boba was a little extra spicy sometimes. Their friendship has been really sweet to see on both sides because I feel like it's helped mellow Boba out a little bit and kind of give him somebody to lean on. And I feel like Boba has helped Pedro come out of his shell a lot. It's just been really cool seeing a different side of him, you know? The fun-loving side of Pedro. It was probably last spring or last summer. He was still in room 4 and it was getting towards the end of my shift, and so I was spending my last 10-15 minutes or so just kind of hanging out in room 4, and I was sitting on the beds how I am now, and he came and climbed into my lap, and I remember being so excited, oh my gosh. The first time he sat in my lap was wonderful and magical. For people meeting Pedro for the first time, he kind of just has a naturally grumpy scowl on his face, he's always just glaring, but he's such a sweetheart. He might look kind of like a mean guy or a cold guy, but he's the best.
I was actually here when they dropped Pedro off and he was pretty chill. He loves it here, but he's the exact same. He's yeah, it's whatever, it's my new home. Probably his carefree attitude. That's so true, but I feel he's touched my heart the entire time, cause he was left outside abandoned by his previous family, made the journey from Florida to here, and he's still fighting every day. He's pretty happy and comfortable. Every day in the afternoon, once it hits a certain time, I swear it's always 1 or 2 p.m. He hops up on the door and he just meows. He's a pretty calm, cool, and collected man. You and Boba are BFFs.